All right, so number 19, some word problems. That's everyone's favorite. Okay, so I'm going to highlight some words and some keys. So the sum, that means we know we're going to add. So that means we know we're going to add. Sum is always add. Of 3 times. Times means we're going to multiply. So times, 3 times means we're going to multiply. So we're going to have lots of operations going on here. So multiply. A number means we have a number that we don't know. So that's going to be our x. So that's definitely going to be an x. So a number is an x. And 3 is, hopefully you already know that one. And so the sum of 3, so that means we're going to add. And that like plus mark is going to go where and is. So the sum of 3 times a number, so 3x. So that's going to be our 3x plus 5 is given. And then is a big key word, because every time you see is, if we could change the word equal in our brain to is, and when you read it, sometimes some of you even say it this way. So is equal to, so it's equal. So we can draw some equal marks. Then we have 2, and then we already said times means multiply. So times the number, which is a number. So that's going to be x again. 2 times the number, which we had it in pink. Then plus is going to be that same as sum. Plus, so we're going to add 15. Now, what is half the number means that's a whole nother question. So right now, we first have to figure out what the number is. So this looks just like the multi-step equations we were doing before. So we're going to do our line of great divide. We have to get our variables on one side and our constants or whole numbers on the other side. I'm going to move again towards the largest. So 3 is larger than 2. So I'm going to subtract 2x from both sides. And that's going to leave me with x plus 5. X plus 5 equals 15. Now our x is on this side. We are trying to get x by itself. So I'm now going to subtract 5 from both sides to move it over there and get rid of it on this side. So x equals 15 minus 5 is going to give me 10. So x is 10. Now the question says, what is half the number? Well, now we know that the number, or a number, the number, all the x's that we were dealing with is 10. So what is half of 10? And the answer to this question is 5. So this is a very EOC-like question. So it's not only making sure that you can read and write your equation and solve it, but you're doing a multi-step at this point. So this is super EOC-like. Probably for our quiz, the x equals 10s will probably be where you stop. But you should see these. The sooner you get to see them, the sooner you write them down, the sooner you practice them, and they no longer become scary, the better you're going to do. All right, so number 20, perimeter of a rectangle. That means we're going to walk around a rectangle. So me personally, that means I always need to draw a rectangle. So perimeter equals 28. The length is 6 less than 3 times the width. So 6 less, that's going to be subtraction, right? So less. And in your video, it's 6 less than 3 times the width. So less than means the 6 is going to come second. So 3 times, which that's multiplication. You know, this is multiplication. And I always, when I see these words, so length and width, because we know that perimeter equals 2 times the length plus 2 times the width, back from literal equations from this study guide, we discussed it. But also, hopefully, you just remember perimeter is length plus width plus width. All 4 sides added together. And since it's a rectangle, your 2 lengths are always the same and your 2 widths are always the same. So length is 6 less. So length is equal to 6 less than, so that means that 6 is going to go in the back, because I'm taking 6 away from 3 times the width. What is the length of the rectangle? So we need to get this, we're going to substitute this in. So perimeter equals 2 times L, and if L is equal to 3 times the width minus 6, it's going to be 3 times the width minus 6 plus 2W. So we just plugged in what it told us into the equation for perimeter that hopefully we know. And now we need to solve for, we know our perimeter is actually 28, so we can get this better. And down, and all we have left is now a W. So now we're solving for the width. That is not the question that's being asked, but we have to know the width before we'll know the length, because length is in reference to width. So length is dependent upon what our width is. So we're going to do one thing at a time. So 2 times 3, W, is going to give me 6W. See if I can write small enough to fix it, fit it on the page. 2 times negative 6 is a negative 12. This is our big brick wall. So plus 2W equals 28. We're going to clean up this side. 6W plus 2W is going to be 8W minus 12 equals 28. I'm going to write it over here so we can keep working down. 28 equals 8W minus 12. So our great divide, we're going to add 12. And we get 40 equals 8W. Divide by 8. The width is going to be 5. Now, if this was a multiple choice question, 110% I can promise you that that answer 5 will be there, because they know. They know you're going to get excited. You just did all that hard math. You're proud of yourself, and you're going to jump for the first answer. But it says, what is the length? So length, we got to solve for the length at this point. You did great work. We have to go back and plug it back in. So length is what we need. So length is equal to 3 times W. We just found W to be 5. So we're going to plug in 5 minus 6. So 3 times 5 is 15. Subtract 6. So our length is 9. Definitely count on 9 and 5 being there if it was a multiple choice question. So we have to make sure. So do all your math. Read the question again. So read it thoroughly. Set it up. Do the math. Read it again. Then pick your answer.